And he actually told me, he said, I bet you if I took you around the corner and took your pants off, the weed would fall straight out your ass. What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about my few run-ins with the law while I was smoking weed as a teenager or a young adult. And on TikTok, I remember a commenter said I sound like a war on drugs person. So I'm not adding weed into the whole war on drugs rhetoric. I do not think I think weed should be decriminalized. I do not think people should spend years and years in jail for just smoking weed. I don't think weed is like narcotics or things like that. But I do think possibly we should not smoke weed until we are mature adults with a fully functioning brain, probably after the age of 25. So I'm going to briefly go into my run-ins with the law while I was smoking weed, which happened 10, 15 years ago, which I didn't stop past them, but these are funny stories. So my first encounter with the law, me and three of my best friends were having a smoke session, and for whatever reason, one of my friends, we could always smoke weed over his dad's house. I do not know why that particular night we did not smoke there. For whatever reason, we ended up going down the street, parked in front of somebody's house. Again, I was 16, 17, so young and dumb. So we parked in front of somebody's house, fired up, smoking the car out. We saw the house we were in front of, we saw them turn their lights on and off. That should have been a clear sign that we should probably leave. Of course, again, we're young and dumb. We did not. So 5 minutes later, the police pull up, lights on. I don't think guns were out, but we quickly were out the car getting searched. We obviously were smoking. Smoke comes out of the car. We get arrested. Actually, the police end up stealing our stash and taking our money, but I guess that's a whole other topic. But long story short, we went to juvenile court for smoking weed. My second encounter was when I was probably like a year later. It could have been even 6 months. I'm gonna say a year later. And we went to, you'd think I would have learned my lesson, but so we went to an abandoned house. We were with another group of friends. So we went to an abandoned house down the street, started to smoke. 10 minutes later, these police did actually pull up in an undercover car, guns out. So my grandfather had told me that if I got arrested again for something like weed or because I also had got suspended like after that for something else, he said he would just drop dead. So I'm like, oh God, my grandfather's going to drop dead once he finds out. So I actually, this is kind of a nasty, crazy story. I quickly hid the weed in my behind. I put it in my behind and scooted it down, hid the weed behind. The police saw me doing something. He was like, he searched me and grabbed me and yanked me and jerked me and did everything but pull my pants down. He actually told me, he said, I bet you if I took you around the corner and took your pants off, the weed would fall straight out your ass. Which, it would have, but he didn't find it. So we luckily got out of that situation. We didn't get arrested, but it was quite scary. Could have been, I would say, it was more scary than my second situation. So fast forward to 5-6 years after that, I was at this point a young adult. But one morning I was leaving the house. I was smoking, pulling out of the house. A police saw me pull out of my driveway and turn off the street. He turned around to pull me over. I can't say it was racial profiling because he was also black, or maybe it was racial profiling, if you know what I mean, black on black. But he pulled me over for a seatbelt or something like that, and I was obviously high, and I ended up calling my mother, and because I was living with my mom then, and I called her. And like, Mom, I've been arrested, yada, yada, yada. And he was like, oh, did you call your mama? Like, you must be real scared about why you call your mama. Because I'm like, because you're picking on me, sir. I put in my driveway and or for to arrest me. And I actually said I had been smoking. I did have some weed in the car. Luckily he didn't search the car, but he told me I couldn't drive the car back home because I was intoxicated, and my mom had to actually drive it. I had to walk home, and she drove the car home herself. So these three stories, long story short, maybe there's really no point to these, but just to let you know how dumb I was as a young adult. But these things did not cause me to want to quit weed. And I'm telling you this because, again, I'm not arguing the war on drugs, but I am arguing teenagers should not be smoking weed. We do not make, or teens, I'm not teen anymore, but teens do not make the best decisions. And I think we nowadays is being pushed towards kids at a younger age. You know, we didn't have things like edibles and vape pens. So kids are smoking in school now. They're taking edibles. Kids are smoking weed at a much younger age. And again, if you're 16, 17, 18, even 21, your brain is not fully developed. So I do not think that you should be smoking weed before the age of 25. You should be a responsible adult, brain fully formed, so you have the least chance of being addicted to weed. And if we start at a young age, we make dumb decisions, we could get arrested, because even though weed now is still legal in a lot of states, some states they're still not, and you still can get arrested in trouble for smoking weed, although it's a lot more acceptable now. But my point is, kids don't make the best decision. So that was just a brief story. I hopped on here. I just wanted to share my experiences with the law while I was smoking weed. Again, like I said, those experiences did not, looking back, I should have probably used that as a sign that I should either cut back or not smoke as much. I did not. It took me 10, 12 years after that last encounter for me to actually quit. But if you are under the age of 25 and you're watching this and you smoke weed, cut back, because you may not make the best decisions. Be responsible if you're going to smoke. But anyway, guys, like, subscribe, share. Most importantly, comment below. Until next time, we are all in this together. Peace.